Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. My name is David Nachman. I'm one of the managing attorneys at the NPZ Law Group. We have offices located in Ridgewood, New Jersey. We also have an office located in Raritan, New Jersey, and we also have an office in Midtown Manhattan and affiliated offices in India and in Canada. And due to unprecedented changes, rapid changes in the U.S. immigration world, I've been invited to speak to you today by the folks at TV Asia. And I'd first like to thank them very much for this invitation. We've done the best that we possibly can within the last several weeks to include immediate updates on our website, which is www.visaserve.com, where I invite you to visit online to get most immediate updates about things that are rapidly changing in this U.S. Immigration world, and also with regard to changes in the immigration arenas in India and also in Canada. Specifically, I've been asked by Gayatri to provide a little information about what's going on in the international student arena. And I've made some notes just about a couple of things that we've been seeing, but probably the most important is that there was an announcement made on March 9th by the SEVP. SEVP are the folks who are responsible for administering the SEVIS, Student Exchange Visitor Information System. And basically what they said is that academic institutions, and basically the way it works is that designated student officers, DSOs, and ISOs, international student officers, are able to make adjustments to the protocols for their university in light of the national emergency that was announced by President Trump and also by some of the localities. So it's really important at this point for international students to stay in really close touch with their international student officers and their designated student officers. Also, if those students, those international students, are currently working on either their optional practical training or on their STEM OPT, it's also important for them to stay in touch with their employers, because probably, and I'll describe the differences in how international students are affected depending upon where they are in their, in their cycle. International students who are presently studying, of course, now, because the academic institutions are closing down, what that requires them to do is probably to engage in virtual or online classes. And as a result of that, so first of all, what it is that international students could only take advantage of one online course in order to be still engaged in their full-time course of study. However, with this March 9th pronouncement by SEVP, it appears that international student officers are going to be able to make adjustments to the protocols and to allow for online and virtual study for international students, to allow them still to be in status and for their I-20s to be valid. So that's super important. Also, obviously, those international student officers and designated student officers who endorse the I-20 forms will be able to allow for the 20 hours a week of on-campus employment for international students. With regard to those students who are currently working in their OPT or STEM OPT, obviously certain modifications are going to be needed to be made for remote work or off-site work. And obviously under those circumstances, then additional notifications should be sent to SEVP by the international student officers or by the designated student officers to allow them to be able to notify SEVP about these changes in the protocols, to allow these students to be able to continue in those cycles of their program. So a couple of things that we've noticed over the past several weeks with regard to international students. I just made a couple of quick notes here. Is number one, a lot of international study programs abroad are being canceled. Number two, a lot of international students are not able to return home, and that's a big difficulty, especially for those international students who are responsible for caring for their elderly parents abroad or for taking care of certain items back at home. So basically, everyone is in a real difficult situation with regard to the travel restrictions that have been put into place, both entering the U.S. and also departing from the United States. We've also heard issues about research funding being cut off. We've also heard that there seems to be some racial tension among students where there is a xenophobic outcry, and also that some of the academic institutions that we have been involved with have set up counseling for discrimination against international students and for this xenophobic backlash. A lot of the academic institutions which we service also have they've set up committees to address the outbreaks of COVID-19 on their campuses. In addition, and obviously, probably as many of you have already heard in the news, it's clear that there is a tremendous amount of social distancing that needs to take place, and academic institutions have promulgated the importance of hygiene protocols on their campuses. So these are some of the things that we've been noticing over time. Obviously, again, these are sort of unprecedented circumstances that we've encountered, and we're also seeing some additional adjustments that are being made in the